Alright guys, I got something special for you today. I found this play yesterday. Play action motion slide in Y off trips in the spread playbook. I'm going to show you what I'm doing with it as a base play. You can imagine that crosser is very deadly, but that is just the beginning. It's a small part of this scheme. So I'm going to go ahead and just run it right quick in practice. Then we'll take a look at the replay so I can let you know why I'm so excited about this play as we look at all our options. So you see, we're gonna fake the handoff, and this tight end on the auto motion, when he makes his move to the sidelines, it gives me a perfect dump off option. And then I have the comeback over top. I have that deadly crosser come in, and then I have a seam. I have a streak going right up the seam, and I also have a lot of grass in front of me to run. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm hammering the flats. I'm gonna make sure that I'm hustling with my quarterback to take advantage of these big spaces in front of me, so that the user can't just chase down that crosser, because that crosser is one that you're gonna find a lot of users chasing, and if they do, you just take advantage underneath. We don't need to force anything because there are too many options on this play. So you see, I'm gonna show you a bunch of times where I just hit this tight end because it's there. We're gonna go through the play stock for the first 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll show you a couple of things that I'm doing with audibles. And you'll see we're just gonna hit the tight end. See, the user was kinda not sure if he wanted to come after the quarterback or get to the flat, so we took advantage of the flat because we caught the user in peril. Here we go. Now this is one that I could have easily just thrown away, but because I see that I can get it over there to the tight end, I end up picking up 9 yards. Here we go again. We're gonna hammer the flats, and we're gonna keep taking it. Now, one of the reasons I like jumping in game after I find a play that I like, before I put in a lot of labbing, is because I start to see how my opponents react, and that kind of guides what I do in terms of my audibles and my adjustments. So I'm gonna start to show you a couple of the alternative ways that I'm running this, and they were actually things that I did based on what I was seeing in game. I was freestyling in game, and these are some of the favorites that I picked up. But again, we're gonna keep running this stock right now. We're gonna keep hitting the flat, keep hitting that tight end. Now you see, I didn't cancel the rollout there, so that wasn't clean. But the more you get used to this, you get that play action, cancel the rollout, and then get it out hot. It works just as well. When you flip the play, you have to cancel it because it doesn't roll out as clean. And there will be 2 more examples, I believe, of me running it where I actually cancel the rollout clean. So here we go. Now we're gonna hit that comeback a couple times. We hammer them in the flats, and it's just a matter of being patient and seeing what's open to you. If you watch here, we're actually gonna hit that comeback again, and this time we'll get him in the end zone. See, he just sits in that sweet spot. So your quarterback rolling out and the tight end in the flat really make it hard for those defenders to figure out what to do. And then if they manage to cover all that, they're not going to be able to cover the crosshair as well unless the user in it. So it's a whole lot for a user to have to try to figure out, and that's before we do any sort of hot routes. So this play stock is just a nightmare to guard, and the rollout is automatic up until right about there, and then you take over with your quarterback. So here you go. We're gonna hit them with the crosser now. We got their attention with everything going on the sidelines. We got their attention with our quarterback rolling out, and now we're gonna hit him with this route that, on his own, it's a proper piece of hell. But now we got the ability to scramble with the quarterback. We got a quick dump off to the tight end. We got the comeback route, and the thing about this crosser too is that it gets open early, it gets open late, so it's really hard to figure out when and where we're gonna attack. And the truth is, we're just attacking wherever we see a weakness. That could be any part of the field at any time. This is the beauty of this play. It's one of the best stock plays I've come across for a while. And here you go. We see a stock cover 2. Now, the next one is going to be the exact same. Take a look, and you'll see that during the fake handoff, you can actually look up and see that the safeties are in a cover 2. So before you even get an opportunity to do anything, you know what it is. So I know exactly where I'm going. before the defense even has a chance to adjust to what I'm doing. If you look up and see that it's not a cover 2, then you know your read is different. But if you see cover 2 pre-snap, that gives you a chance. Now, moving forward, this is what we're going to do against users who start to bring a little bit of heat. We're either going to block the running back, block the tight end, or block them both. So we'll see that a little bit. And now, of course, you can get this ball out hot to X if need be. But right here, we roll out, we hit the comeback. Oh, actually, we still hit the crosser here. But yeah, so a lot of times with the crosser, especially when I block the running back, I'm going to get the ball out hot because there's no fake anymore. And if I'm on the right hash and the play isn't flipped, like my twin receivers are to the boundary, then it's a long way for a user to go to get out there to that crosser, and most users are not going to get there. And that crosser beats everything right off the line of scrimmage, especially man. Now, there's one of the things about Madden that I hate, but once you learn how to expose it, you expose it. My opponents get those same animations, and instead of letting it piss me off, I figured out how to do it. You honestly can find out where the advantage is and just lob it up and aggressive catch it, and it works. I'm actually going to show another example of it. Lead your man to the space. So here you go. You see us still with the max protection looks, taking our time, making our reads, and we're still rolling out. And now you see here, we're just blocking the running back. We put a drag out, which gets the user attention for just long enough to get this cross over the top. This time we keep the fake, block the tight end, and we got the comeback for days. Now, of course, you can imagine if you use any of the escape artist quarterbacks or the dash and dead eyes even. I think, who's that? Russell Wilson and Pat Mahomes. Now here we go. This is actually one of my favorite adjustments, mostly against zone, of course, because you end up seeing a lot of cover 3. I actually run a lot of trap out of this too, so you see a lot of cover 3. So put the running back on the swing. Now you have 2 swing routes that this guy has to think about. So you got everything flowing to the right side of the field, He's chasing down the crossers. You got the tight end on his swing, and then you start mixing it up and putting that swing on the backside. I have gotten that wide open time and time again. So you'll see, I think this might be an example of it right here. Yeah, you see the user already cheating to the right side of the screen. So he's in no position to defend Zeke over here. Here we go again. We'll hit him with it a few more times. These 2 swings. Now, I don't always like the interaction between Zeke and Dak, but it has yet to cause any problems. So my intent for this is to put out a full breakdown if it's still relevant in Madden 22. If it's still as effective as this in Madden 22, then I'll go through the whole practice, because I actually do have a long practice video showing how it reacts to different zones. I mean, if you're playing cover 4 quarters or match, you actually find that you get more routes wide open if you block the tight end than if you don't. If you don't believe in taking a practice, run it with the tight end on his route, and the cross is really the only thing you're going to be comfortable with. You block the tight end, everybody's open. So a couple different things we're mixing up in terms of, we see guys playing a lot of man coverage. There's no sense not putting out some man beating routes. We don't need all the swing routes on the field if we're seeing a lot of man. Although the tight end swing route is interesting against cover 1, because a lot of times the dude covering him gets caught up trying to chase him around the line of scrimmage. But here's another one here. See, you put the ball in the space where only your man can get it, and you'll ag it a lot of times when you probably shouldn't. So here's a bunch of man beating routes again. He has to choose between the crosser and the slant. And we all know that you can expose slants in this game. That they're pretty much like post or crossers, the way they get across the field late. So, and because the crosser is such a good man beating route, you really don't need to put out a whole bunch. Give him a slant, give him the crosser. And if you want to have a little bit of fun, put something else out there. But those 2 routes just make it very difficult for you to contend. And you always in this offense, you always want to make sure that you keep the option alive to run the ball. You never want to take that away from yourself. The dude TD Barrett does this here, that roll out and throw the opposite way. So thank you guys, that's it. Next video gonna be audibles, motions, and more.